What is going on, everybody? Gamers Goon here today with your Final Four prediction video. Wrong way. I got the Illinois Final Four hat. Very excited. For all my Illinois fans, tomorrow is the video you're going to want to be tuned into. It's going to be kind of my final rally cry before this weekend gets started in Indianapolis. Final Four, big weekend to be an Illini fan, but a big weekend to be a basketball fan, and that's what this video is the preview and prediction here for the next couple games that are ahead of us. And we'll start it off with the game that I am most in tune for, right? The game that obviously we've been waiting for 21 years for. As you can see here on this back wall, Darren Williams. You can't really see it, but James Augustine, D Brown. Got the Illinois thing up there, right? This has been my hometown team since the get go. The team I grew up watching. Finally getting to see them in a Final Four opportunity in the first time of my basketball career where I'm not like 3 years old, right? So, big moment for the Illini. Big moment here in the Final Four. I can't stop smiling since making it here by beating Iowa. But the opponent here is a tricky one. I thought surely, especially in that game that I was watching, but I wasn't really paying attention too much because I'm gonna be honest with you, my eyes were set on other things. After, that was during the who played the game after. I think it was it Michigan? It might have been Arizona, but I've been very happy to be in the Final Four. But anyways, UConn, the big opponent here for Illinois. Big time half court shot, won the game. Wild ending to that game. Got it to Caden Boozer with about 10 seconds left. Turns the ball over. Whatever. Passes the Caravan. Passes it back. Mullins hits a half court shot. Ends up nailing it. Not enough time for Duke to do anything. Down go Duke. So this whole time, I thought surely, especially because you look at Duke and they were up pretty big at one point in this game. I'm like, surely Illinois versus Duke. Obviously, I'd be interested in going and seeing how a guy like Merkovich and a guy like the Ivisic twins match up against Cameron Boozer, right? Obviously, I'd be interested in kind of seeing what Isaiah Evans can do against the likes of Keaton Wagler. But we didn't get to see any of those things. Instead, what we see is a rematch from a game that happened all the way back at the beginning of the season around Thanksgiving time. I think it was really early in the season. It was around then. Now, just to put into perspective how different this Illinois team is from that game, I'm gonna tell you a few facts here. With Mihailo Petrovic and Brandon Lee, they combined for like 30 minutes between the two of them. The two of them both played a lot more than they're gonna play on Saturday. Keaton Wagler paid for 13 minutes. I actually have the minutes on my phone. I took a screenshot of this. So give me 1 second here to bring up the screenshot. Kylan Boswell played 39 minutes. That's kind of where you would expect him to be. Might need him more, might not use him as much. You don't know. Mihailo Petrovic, 17 minutes. That is more than Zvonimir Ivisic, Keaton Wagler, and Jake Davis, and tied with David Merkovich. Brandon Lee had 11 minutes. So, my bad. They had 28 minutes between the two of them. Brandon Lee had 11 minutes, which is more than Jake Davis. Now, nothing against Mihailo Petrovic and Brandon Lee. They could be parts of the team for the future, right? Mihailo Petrovic came in and was supposed to be a big-time player for Illinois and kind of just hasn't been able to crack the rotation because of how good Illinois have been. Brandon Lee, another guy that came in as a recruit this year. There was some high expectation for him and just really hasn't had the opportunity to kind of blossom here. So those two guys will definitely not be playing a total of 28 minutes between the two of them on Saturday. But let me just read you the rest of this. Humrickhouse at 25 isn't crazy. Ivisic at 24 is not crazy. David Mirkovic at 17 is. David Mirkovic, if he plays less than 25 to somewhere in the range of, if he's between 25 and 35, I think you're probably doing pretty well. Now, there's been times where Brad's had him take him off the court for whatever reason, but I don't think you get any less than 25, and if you do, I don't know that you win the game with Mirkovic. Keaton Wagler, if he logs under 30 minutes in a go-home game against UConn, I'd be shocked. He probably logs over 35. Him and Mirkovic honestly might play all 40. That's how different this team is. Between Wagler and Mirkovic, they played a total of 30 minutes. Neither of them on Saturday, as long as all goes as planned, no foul trouble, no injuries, nothing crazy happens, neither of those guys will probably be under 30 minutes. They didn't combine for 30 minutes the first time around. Andrei Stojakovic, 24 minutes. That's probably about what you'll see, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, given on where everybody else falls in. Then Jake Davis with 8 minutes. That's obviously going to be probably in that 15 to 25 range, somewhere in the middle there. Kind of depends on if he can get his shot falling and really who else is able to step up. But I would definitely expect Illinois to be a lot shorter on their rotation here in this UConn game. And UConn themselves are no slouches either, right? You're looking at a UConn team right now that is being led by Taurus Reed. Really, really good player. He's averaging 15-ish a game. You have Alex Karaban. Obviously, he's been there, done that. He's a very, very good player. Hasn't really had the greatest of the recent stretches. 6 for 12 against MSU, Michigan State. They played Michigan State? Yeah, they did. But 6 for 12 in that game. It was decent. Was not efficient at all in the Duke game. Only went 2 for 10 in that game. Obviously, you got Braylon Mullins hit the big shot. You have Solo Ball, who really just has kind of fallen off the face of earth recently. 9 points in their opening game against Furman, 0 points against UCLA, and then a combined 22 in their last 2 games. Just really hasn't been all that efficient. In the last 2 games, he is 7 for 19 from the field. Hasn't been great, which means he's probably going to have a good game, to be honest with you. Silas Demery, he's another one that can get to you, obviously. He had 11 points last time out. Just a really, really dangerous team here with UConn. And obviously, I think we all know the coaching battle here is Brad Underwood. First time, is he getting too wide-eyed for this moment? Hasn't really had a big moment other than like a Big Ten championship up until this point of his career, right? And then you have Dan Hurley, who's been here, done that, who's won the championships. You're going to have kind of the meeting of the minds here and see, can Brad get over the final boss here in Dan Hurley. So, big moment for the Illinois. Illinois is favored in this game on a neutral site. They did lose this game earlier in the season, but like I said, that's kind of a wash in my opinion because you're not going to see those rotations be the way they were. Illinois, 1.5 point favorites. That basically means it's a jump ball. Nobody really has a good feeling on one way or the other. So this is going to be a good game to start off Saturday night, 5:09 p.m. Be there. It's primetime viewing. I know I will be locked in, and hopefully at the end of the night I can be celebrating Illinois finding their way to play on Monday night for a national championship. But like I said, tomorrow's the Illinois video. Today is the prediction video. UConn, that's a tough team. I'm not going to lie, that's a tough team. You got Dan Hurley. It pains me to do this. It really does, because I know deep down I'm not going to be able to sleep with myself at night. But I'm taking Illinois! I'm taking Illinois to beat UConn. I'm rocking with Brad and the boys for this one. I really am. I'm feeling the vibes. I think the vibes are at an all-time high in Champaign. I think you have found the formula with Wagler, Mirkovic. Those two really leaning on them. Obviously having Kylan Boswell here in probably on solo ball for a decent majority of the game. You're going to need the Twins to have a good game against Taurus Reed. But you look at a game like the Houston game, You were able to match that physicality when a lot of us probably were on the side of, I don't know that Illinois can match the physicality. I was on that train of, I don't know how well you're going to go into Houston and match Houston's physicality. And they did a pretty good job on JoJo Tugler. They did a pretty good job on him. Now, obviously, Tarris Reed's a much different beast and much different offensive player than JoJo Tugler. And I think JoJo Tugler had like 6 or 8 points, something like that. But he did pose some issues, but you were able to answer those issues. Are you going to be able to answer the Tarris Reed issues that present themselves? Hopefully, team rebounding has been absolutely great throughout this tournament run. That needs to continue here. No easy second chance opportunities for Tarris Reed. Stay out of foul trouble, the Ivasiches. Just go out there and go and do what we know you're capable of by being one of the best rebounding teams in the country. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. You got Tarris Reed to deal with. Caravan can get going from deep. You have Solo Ball and Demery who can create for themselves. Obviously, you saw a big moment for Braylon Mullins. Hopefully, he is kind of limited with kind of his confidence being boosted up here in the last couple games, especially with a big shot like that. You tend to see some of these guys really start to have that confidence in themselves, and hopefully, you can limit some of those moments there for him and the rest of this UConn team. I'm taking Illinois. I think it's going to be an absolute down-to-the-wire game. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think this is going to be a game that might even go to overtime. If I got to put a score on this one, I'm putting it 72-68, Illinois, overtime, victory here. Give me the Illini. I probably am listening to my heart a little bit too much here in this scenario. I want to acknowledge that, but I don't think it's that far-fetched for the Illini to win this one. So I am taking Illinois to win and continue this epic run and hopefully bring back a championship on Monday night. Next, we got Michigan versus Arizona. This is another game that I'm absolutely stoked for, right? It was kind of unfortunate where it is, at least in my opinion, right? Because I could watch Illinois' season come to an end as a lifelong Illini fan, and I could be like, dang, just really sad and not feeling great about, well, the Illini lost. It's not, oh well, it's a good year. Kind of that sad vibe, right? And then I got to go from that mood into the mood of watching potentially an even better game. And I know I'm saying that and talking about I'm really excited for this Illinois game. This Michigan-Arizona game has all the makings of being the game of the year. You have an Arizona team that I think everybody in the world thinks can be a national championship team. Michigan, they're not far behind, right? Another team that everybody in the world thinks can be a national championship caliber team. Michigan, slight favorites in this one, just as the Illini. 1.5 point, just like the Illini. The Big Ten is the favorite here. Michigan, obviously, they lost to Duke earlier in the season. They handled business pretty easily against Tennessee last round. Michigan, they're going to try to beat you up kind of more physically gifted team here, right? You're going to have Morez Johnson going for every rebound. You're going to have Yaxel attacking the basket there. You got a lot of guys there on Michigan that just really don't seem like they have fear. But then you also got a bunch of guys here on Arizona that I would argue are the same way. You got 2 freshmen that don't realize they're freshmen here with Burries and Pete. Both of them, outstanding seasons. Burries 16 a game, Pete 14 a game. Jaden Bradley, their leader, one of the most clutch players in America. You got Mo Krivas, the big man there. Delorso's a guy that's been impactful for them. Just all around a team that I don't necessarily think is going to back down to the physicality that Michigan brings to their game. And this is going to be another tough one here to talk about, right? One side, you got Michigan, Dusty May. Does he make it to his first national championship game? Obviously, we know Miller there at Arizona, trying to get over Arizona's kind of slump that they've been in, right? Not been making it to the championship game in how many years, right? Them and Illinois both made it to the. I think Arizona's last Final Four was like 25 years ago. Illinois, obviously, 21 years ago. Both getting out of their droughts. Does Arizona have enough what it takes? I, coming into March Madness, had Arizona as the team to watch. And most of my brackets picked Arizona, right? I did do a bunch of brackets, so I'm not gonna act like I knew this hands down was gonna happen. But that was my favorite team to pick to go win a championship. I just think they're the most complete team out there. But Michigan poses issues. If you look at this game, I think Michigan has the best player on the court with Yaxel. If you look at this game, they might even have the second best player on the court there with Morez Johnson. Now Arizona, maybe their 1 through 5 is right after that before you even get to the Elliot Cadeaux or the rest of the Michigan starting lineup, right? But Daimara even, you might have a lot of those Arizona guys kind of there between that. But I do think the best 2 players on the court will probably be wearing Michigan colors in that game. Yaxel, he's an interesting case where I think a lot of fan bases don't give him enough love, and obviously there's a reason for it, right? Yaxel's kind of taken on the villain arcs at times this season, but I think we all need to kind of realize that Yaxel is that guy. If you had a Yaxel Lindeborg on your team, you would be a really, really good team. And I don't know that he necessarily gets the love for it nationally because, like I said, he's had times this year where he's gone in and kind of riled up other people's fan bases, but he's really good at it. He's really good at it. And he's a guy that I'm going to be honest with the Chicago Bulls, who I'm a Bulls fan. If they drafted him, I'd be happy. I'd be happy because I like the player there. He's yes, he does some things that get under fan base's skin, but I like the player there. Yaxel's a guy that he's not going to back down. He's got everybody's back on his team. Everybody's got his back. The team goes as Yaxel goes. In my opinion, he's the best player left in this tournament. And that's hard to say when you got Wagler in the tournament. You got Burries in the tournament, right? Koa Pete, right? Morez in there, right? It's a tough one to say. Yeah, Yaxel just that guy, but Yaxel really is that guy, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Yaxel to get his moment. Obviously, I want Illinois to have the moment, but Yaxel is somebody that really just we kind of seen coming for a while now. When he was at UAB, we kind of knew, hey, this guy is like way better than the level he's playing at. Like if he can transfer to a big school, he'll really have an opportunity to make a name for himself and become that guy. So we kind of knew about Yaxel before he ever even went to Michigan. And then obviously him at Michigan's just even taking a bigger step. And I never would have guessed that Yaxel took that kind of step, right? But he really put himself in a conversation of one of the most elite players in America. So it's exciting to see the Yaxel story go on. I'm going to rock with Michigan in this one. I'm going to be a Big Ten homer in this video. I'm taking the Illini. I'm taking Michigan. I think Michigan and Arizona is going to be, once again, another really, really good game here on Saturday night. I think it goes down to the wire. Might be an overtime game, right? We get 2 potential overtime games. I think they're going to be back and forth games. I don't think we're in for a Michigan versus Tennessee where just if it was Michigan versus like UConn, maybe. If it was Michigan versus Illinois, we saw the first time it got a little out of hand. If Illinois is not hitting threes, I don't know that they really stick in that game. But I'm taking Michigan to beat Arizona. I'm going Michigan to win that one. I'll say 82-80. I think that'll be a really good game. Illinois, Michigan in the national championship, and then I'm just hoping Illinois' shot starts to fall in the national championship, and I can be, instead of wearing a Final Four hat, I'm hoping that I can wear a hat that says national champion, because obviously we've been waiting our whole lives to see something like this. So I'm excited. I can't come out of here with like any negative vibes, right? I think we got a great Final Four. I think we got a great group of 4 teams. I think we'll have 2 really good games in that third game on Monday night. I expect to be good as well. If I had to make a guess, like I said, I was very much into Arizona, but as you saw, I'm kind of flipping the script here, and I'm picking Michigan to beat Arizona. I just really like the way that this Michigan team's kind of answered at times. And I really like the fact that they kind of are starting to tap into a version of Yaxel that they really didn't need to tap into all this much this season. And they're finally getting a Yaxel to really take over in these tournament games and saying, you know what, I'm the best player on the court. So, Keaton, please on Monday, if we make it, be the best player on the court. Obviously, we've asked a lot out of Keaton as a 3-star kid, right? But if you can, please bring us a national championship. But anyways, we're going to be in for a fun Saturday night. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.